everybody, Ananias here, and I'm back playing. This is going to be part 3 of the Vasteel series. And to kind of finish what I was going to say, um, the city, which is the goal of the game to destroy, is or the goal of each board is to destroy this city. But it behaves completely differently than the city and the well, not completely, but it's a very different experience than the cities and the factories. And I remember having I would bring up and end up buying because there's no limit to the turns. I don't think. I hate to say that. Don't quote me there. There might be a limit. But I remember having tons of mechs around here, and then just finally just throwing everything at it because you'd have to. It would be. You'd have to do it if I remember correctly. You have to do it in one turn, because this thing will replenish all of its health when it goes to the next turn. So you want to, however many mechs it takes to try and take down the city, that's how many you you better have to throw at it. And I literally remember I would be in a position to where I would throw a dozen or so mechs at the thing in order to kill it. Um, but just like anything else, there's ways to do it that are easier than others. So okay, um, this was the end of my turn. That's right. I want to keep him there, and let's see, go to fine. So I didn't move the sledder. I just happen to remember he's also in a city, and I don't want to move him. So that's it. And I want to make sure I did my purchasing, which I did. Okay, so let's end it. So he's going to do some attacking here. And we'll see what happens. Okay, so he's going straight for the city. And this is a grunt versus a scout. So let's see what happens here. And you can kind of tell the delay on his creatures or his mechs, because it kind of glows right there. He shoots from the center of his body, and it just kind of glows there for a second. That glow is pretty much an indication of as soon as as soon as he fired, that you'll see that glow, and then a projectile comes out. And what was even more telling is that I was able to hit him and he couldn't hit me at the very beginning. I've got my turbo switch on still. This thing I think shoots off the top of its head, which is this thing meaning what the mech he has. Of course mine does too, but yeah, those blizzards are just... And you see right there, he would have hit me, but he ended up hitting crap. You gotta be careful because you don't have nearly the armor on the back as you do the front of your mech. So it's tough to hit him because we both shoot from the top of our head, so he's trying to get into a position to where when he fires, his weapon is on line with me, and by the time I fire, he's already moved. So, and again, the whole cheesing thing I was talking about in the last video, you can't really do it in the cities. At some point, okay, here we go. Here's a fight in the desert. So there's no gun turrets. There's nothing in the way. This is just straight up open desert area. Now, he should beat the crap out of me because I've got a scout and he's got a blizzard. But you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm trying to remember exactly how to do it well. You kind of work in the screen. It does not go on forever. Crap. See where he shoots off the top of his head. It's hard to. Okay, I'm at the bottom of the screen there. So I shoot out my left side, which makes it a little tough too. Crap. Obviously, his bullets are doing a lot more damage to me than mine. But and if you see there on the left, sorry, gosh, it automatically, the screen automatically turns off there. But under his life was a 0. He has no more primary bullets with that mech. So in order to regain ammunition, he's going to have to sit that thing in one of his cities or factories. Otherwise, he's kind of a sitting duck out there. He's going to be basically charging me. So that little thing I was doing where I was kind of trying to stay at a distance and shoot back at him, it's not going to work. Because he's not going to ever stop in order to fire. He's just going to come straight at me and try and shoot me with his secondary weapon, which is a little bullet that's ultra short range. So, as I said in the previous video, they do all of their combat that they can, and then movement, and then purchasing. So, as soon as they just move, the combat's over. as far as they're concerned. So, oh gosh, I forgot how much fun this game is. Those are cold weather. Those, what do you call it, a burn dog? Those probably have some of the most delayed firing in the entire game. It's a cool looking mech. It really is just, it looks like a four-legged cannon. But they're very difficult to play with. Some very unique looking mechs too, like that green ape, which you're not going to end up seeing, at least not on this map. See, they've got a huge force coming. It's just not at the front line quite yet. Okay, so I am going to crap. I can't get to. Well, I'm not going to crap, but I can't get to the city. I was hoping to be able to get to the city and take it, because you really want to be able to do that, because that will greatly decrease their income from round to round. So you do want to be taking cities. I'm just not in a position to do any of that right now. I am in position, however, to kill this guy. Well, I say that, but I really want to keep him on the city so I can bring his life back up. So I'm going to take the blender so you guys can get to see another mech type here. Because normally I would probably use a scout, one of those two scouts here, just to kind of keep my mechs that aren't scouts for their tougher things. Because the blender's really a pretty good all around. Oh, I thought that might have killed him. A pretty good all around mech. And so, like right there, if I'd been watching and been practicing, I probably, instead of wasting that last bullet, especially in the as you start progressing through the game, your ammunition is very important. And so I probably would have used my secondary gun on that last shot, because he only had 4 health, so it wouldn't have been too bad. Now, one thing I wanted to point out, so I could have easily killed him with my secondary weapons. What I'm getting at there. One thing, well, I can't go in there yet because I've got mechs surrounding it, but I really want to show you guys this. Let's see. Okay, so and it wasn't going to let me go into the factory because I couldn't create anything because I had mechs surrounding it, so it wasn't going to even let me go in here. But one thing, and I can't remember if I mentioned this, I know on the far right there you can see missile AT6, which is the attack of my primary weapon, and I've got 60 rounds. That's another reason that the scout is pretty crazy. He's got freaking 60 shots. If you go down here and look, some of these things, that one's only got 25 bullets. 20 bullets, 30 bullets, 30. And so the scout has 60. That just makes another huge positive for that particular mech. But one thing I was going to mention is the AT1 there and the B255. Most of the mechs have 255 rounds with their secondary weapon, which is just a little pea shooter. But the attack is a 1. Some mechs have an attack 2. So that they're literally, their secondary weapon is twice as powerful as some of these others that just have an attack 1, which can kind of play into it when you're low on ammunition. It really does give you a kind of an edge. He did not get hit. He's at full life, so we're going to go ahead and bring him off because there's nobody that can get to that city, so we're going to start advancing them. Let's see. I want to keep him there. So let's bring some scouts forward. I kind of want to create a buffer. Now that's something else that I hadn't mentioned before that hugely plays into this. So for example, well, I can't get the scout where I was wanting to, but I can still kind of explain it. I was going to try and get this scout here, and the reason for that is that this aqua grunt can't go through this line. Okay, it literally would have to. It as a creature could move spots that go around the line, but not. You can't go over mechs, and so having this scout here even helps because he can't be attacked from the front. In this case now, like whatever mech is coming at this sledder would have to go through the forest in some form or fashion, which greatly reduces the maneuverability because of the terrain there. So you can almost create shields with, well, you can create shields with your mechs, which is really, really cool, and obviously plays into strategy a great deal. All right, so let's see if we can kill this blizzard with the scout. So turning my turbo on there. Let's see if we can do this here. This is the one that we wounded greatly. Yep, there we go. You can see I'm not taking off a lot of damage when I hit him. And he is trying desperately. Oh, he is kind of backing up, though. So every so often for some odd reason. But otherwise, he is just hauling butt at me because this guy does not have any primary weapon. 1 health. Okay, got it. And I just started shooting my primary or my secondary weapon there because I just had to hit him twice. so that worked. Okay. Let's see. Did he actually hit me? I think he did a little bit. Oh yeah, he hit me. He probably hit me like twice. Again, Scout's armor not the best. So okay, so I don't think nothing can get to this Scout either. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull him off. And he may give me some better options this next turn right here. I might be able to get to that city with him or the blender or something like that. Let's see. Let's bring this bile forward to there. Yeah, we'll do this right here. We want to get to those cities sooner rather than later. By the cities, I mean theirs. In order to really choke down on their buying power. I've already got quite a few scouts coming up that way, but I think I'm just going to send one more this way. And I'm going to bring this boxer more kind of right here. Now he's desert, so it's going to take him an eternity. Gosh. But there's not any good way to get him to the other side, really. So I might as well. Anyways, he's desert, and that's fine. That's what this is. But these trees with the snow and stuff, he's going to have a hard time getting through that. That's going to be a one space at a time type situation. Okay, we'll bring him over to here. And let's just bring some scouts this way. I hope you guys are enjoying this. It's definitely one of those games. I grew up with it, and so there's that nostalgia level for me. But honestly, this is just a good, and I hate to call it an entry level type strategy game, but it kind of is. There's not a whole lot of rules really, and a whole lot of different things. There's a lot to discover as far as what the terrains look like, because like this mess right here, literally when you're fighting in it, there'll be rocks rolling down like at you randomly and stuff like that. So there's going to be things that definitely catch you off guard. With the different terrain types and stuff like that, and there's so many different mechs, and some of them look the same. Like the golem there and the boxer are basically the same, have a very similar. The way they look is the same, but they behave very differently. Let's see. Oh, and this is a transport actually, the eagle. So let's go ahead. I'll buy one of these. I can't remember really the difference between the eagle and the toaster. The eagle, I know. Well, let's see if the numbers give us a clue here. So it does not have a primary weapon, that's common. Can I see both of them? I can't. It does not have a primary weapon, which I don't know. I don't know that there's any transports that do. Maybe there are later in the game. I just don't remember. It's got 100 health. It's cost $1,200. Armor class is 64, so not very good. Movement 6, so not ultra far. So it's just basically it's like a poor man's transport. Don't get in a fight with the thing, basically. This one down here, it does have a primary weapon, looks like, but it doesn't have any, like a number of shots. I'm not really sure. HPG4. Oh, this has 4 guns. This is a totally different kind of thing. I believe that this. Okay, so gosh, I wish I could buy one of these. 40, I can't now because I bought the other one. So I'll buy scouts here. But anyway, this behaves completely differently. That almost acts like a city. In other words, I don't know if you control the firing or not. I can't remember. But you do have unlimited shots. But the enemy's the objective basically is to take out your guns, and there's 4 guns on that transport. Um, and so it's going around trying to blow the guns up. And once all 4 guns are dead, then the mech is dead. The transport's dead. I had forgotten all about that. Okay, so we're at the 15-minute mark. I think I'm going to stop it right here. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I definitely want to continue playing this one, and I at least going to get to the end, the culmination here where I take out the enemy, base. So, okay, as I said, hope you're enjoying it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and everybody take care.